Serve time.
What's up, guys, and welcome back to the GamesShow Global Esports Cup. We're going to have Game 2 between Fast Daedalus and Aspera on the way, as Fast Daedalus, gentlemen, just took Game 1 after resisting the team fight power of Aspera. We'll see if FDG can close it out 2-0. Aspera have a stand-in. They lost Zeke, who was drafting for them last time. So I'm just liking FDG's odds based off of that alone. I'm Mikelorus, going to be joined by Lyrical Gangster. I don't know what your thoughts about this, but seems pretty bad for Aspera at this stage.
Yeah, never really great for morale when your captain is not there, or your drafter. Kind of two important roles to fill there. But we'll see. Certainly, none of these players are slouches when it comes to understanding team fight compositions, I'm sure. And occasionally these things do just sort of happen, and it sort of takes the mental fortitude to be able to persevere through it and make it happen. And the other thing to keep in mind, which is going to be really relevant this game, is that Workin has Inspector Gadget Flare, which I just noticed. I'm really excited about that.
And he's going to have this Queen of Pain again. I don't think there's any correlation between Queen of Pain and Inspector Gadget. Probably Tinker, a more appropriate pick, so, whatever. But at the same time, FDG didn't get a Daedalus, so I think the flavor losses on both sides makes it balanced overall. We got Afterlife's Tusk, Workin's Queen of Pain. These are hero player assignments that we've seen just tear up games pretty much just by themselves in previous sets, but now FTG grabbed the Phantom Lancer again with the Shaker. This is the exact same opening that they had in the first game, and they won with it, so sure, why not roll it back?
Absolutely. They do also see the Ember Spirit that's banned out here. This makes sense to me. I always felt like the Ember Spirit was a great counter to the Phantom Lancer, but what I became aware of as I watched more and more games of it is that you really need to be somewhat ahead on the Ember Spirit to be able to have that huge potential that completely and totally eviscerate the Phantom Lancer. Obviously, you get up a couple Battle Furies, 70% cleave, as well as a Daedalus. You can do a lot of damage, but by that time, often a PL will have a Scotty, maybe something else to keep them alive a little bit longer, so kind of a bit of a difficult situation there. We'll see how it plays out. The fact that Radiant doesn't necessarily have a great immediate counter to that PL. Obviously, when the Queen of Pain ends up gaining Aghanim Scepter, that makes a big difference. Gyro banned out as well. Good bans here by FDG.
And we even saw it last game, Phantom Lancer. If you see the Sonic Wave coming, if you see the Queen of Pain coming, you could pretty easily dodge it with Doppelganger. There is a pretty large period of time with Doppelganger where you're just off the map and you're untargetable, you just can't die, so FTG going to take the exact same opening, it seems. Rubik did some serious work in the last game. This time, there aren't as many great things to steal. You never really want to steal from Dazzle, although grabbing Grave can be pretty clutch. Tusk skills are kind of mediocre. Queen of Pain's Blink and Sonic Wave are great, but their other ones are kind of not as much so. So FTG going to run a very similar defensive tri-lane, I would expect. Or, tri-lane, I would expect. Maybe Shaker going towards that off lane again, but it's up to Aspera to shake things up a little bit. Right now, they have a pretty good combination, Dazzle and Tusk, and I feel like most of the time is going to go towards offlane as that Tusk. We may see the Dazzle, play a little bit more of a roaming role just because he does have so much power with that Tusk, and well, with the Queen of Pain also can provide some serious pressure towards that mid lane.
I'm wondering this time around if the Queen of Pain is going to opt to go for, instead of the Aghanim Scepter, going for a Orchid. It seems like that could be a really good answer to the Phantom Lancer early escapability problem. And I kind of feel like had Queen of Pain last game gone for that Orchid first and then being able to build afterwards into an Aghanim Scepter, maybe they have the possibility then to be able to kill the Phantom Lancer earlier and then deal that type of damage that way. Sand King picked up another very interesting hero here. So support combo potentially of Dazzle Sand King, not something you often see, is it?
Yeah, it's sometimes a little bit difficult to land that Burst Strike when you only have Dazzle to help out, but again, this is working all in the environment of plus Tusk. So you Burst Strike in, you snowball in, you land a big Shadow Wave with those two melee heroes who are okay being in the middle of the fight that early on in the game, and FDG will just crumble to that combo. That is so much damage, plus a good amount of stun, and then Ice Shards on top of that. Alternatively, just put Sand King in the jungle, have him just, AFK farm there, and FDG, though now they do have the Visage, don't really have the best heroes at walking into the enemy jungle constantly and punishing a Sand King who's going to be sandstorming it up.
Yeah, I think that the Visage here is pretty much, in my eyes at least, to try and help keep this PL alive, and it looks like, again, it's going to be that offlane Earthshaker, I'm imagining. They do have the potential here again to go aggressive if they want. Visage certainly has a ton of damage potential with that Soul Assumption. Rubik as well, a pretty decent amount if he does end up leveling up that Fade Bolt. All in all, the problem that I see with it potentially is that Radiant hasn't picked their support or their carry yet. I actually see a Pudge band out. That's interesting. But I think that there is always the possibility there to go aggressive with this type of lineup. A lot of big nukes, a lot of potential for Spirit Lances to get tossed out as well. And obviously Rubik as well, often a hero that picks up Tranquils. So, or excuse me, not Tranquils, Arcanes. You end up getting those at a decent time. You've got a lot of sustainability.
Yeah, so this is going to be a very interesting game. The Pudge ban, another one of those bans that, I mean, I don't really think there's a high chance of seeing him. Breaks my heart regardless. He got Anti-Mage to be banned out as well. And again, good combos with the Sand King and the Dazzle. And it's a Huskar last pick for the Aspera side. FDG, I mean, they really don't have great answers to the Huskar. Rubik and Visage especially really struggle up against that hero. PL eventually is really good versus Huskar, but early on can't really do that much. He's resistant to the ultimate of Huskar, just doppelgang away from it and you're good to go, but this might be one of those games where FDG are just inherently ill-prepared to deal with the Huskar, and then they just get completely run over early on. Aspera, they are probably going to look to play this as aggressively as possible, even through the trialing that you were describing for FDG. They should be able to at least contest this. Huskar especially is pretty resistant in those situations.
Yeah, I think he definitely has a chance to really go off in this game. It's really going to depend upon this last pick. They need some amount of pure damage or physical damage out of their mid player, whatever it ends up being. Or alternatively, if they want to go crazy, they could throw Earthshaker mid, end up getting a quick level 4 enchant totem, and then they could, it's a potential viable strategy actually against the Huskar. You end up getting a good amount of physical damage out with the quickness. You can take him down. Huskar is inherently low armor. I don't think that's what they're going to go, but there is that possibility. Also, even if Earthshaker does get played in that offlane position, he can level up Enchant Totem a decent amount still while getting the levels in Aftershock also. And then you have the potential there to, with the assistance from Rubik and Visage, potentially get a kill on him. We'll see if that's what they go for, but right now they are lacking some amount of physical or pure damage, with it only coming from Rubik and that Earthshaker Enchant Totem.
And it's going to be a mid lane hero selection that's going to have to fill that role. Wind Ranger would have been a pretty good one. It has a lot of physical damage scaling once you get the Aghanim Scepter especially, but first of all, the pool of mid lane heroes right now isn't incredibly deep. TA is not that good, and well, it's going to be a Silencer pickup. He does have some pure damage. The Global Silence, great versus the Sand King, but I mean, even though the pure damage versus Huskar offensively is pretty good, the Huskar similarly can just jump on the Silencer and tear him apart with the spears, so I feel like this is an okay pick here from FDG, and it will be really successful if Rubik and Visage are able to rotate in towards the mid lane. Lift up into a Soul Assumption with Silencer being able to silence like the Queen of Pain or the Huskar, whoever does go towards that mid lane, most likely Quap. Yeah, you could get the Silencer very far ahead with the aggressive power of Rubik and Visage.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a tough match here for FDG. We'll see how it goes. There's certainly a lot of possibility. On the plus side, also, FDG do have a lot of stuns, so that's always really helpful against the Huskar. But having the Dazzle Huskar combo is so deadly. If they get off to a really good start, it's going to be tough to be able to fight against them. We have seen a couple of Huskar picks in this tournament, and oftentimes they actually have ended up coming out a little bit behind in the early game because it's been a priority to really shut them down. So FDG really needs to focus on that this game, and I think if they're able to make that happen, the rest of the pieces don't really hold together strong enough for Aspera.
Of course, we're going to start off with a pause because that is just how these games actually go. Do you think this draft actually came together for Aspera? Because again, Lifelong Tragedy is not the usual drafter. It's Arzik who's gone right now. Do you think this is actually a decent strategy for them? Just ride the Huskar Tusk aggressive train to victory, get working a little bit snowball with the Queen of Pain?
I think it can. I think it's not as clearly defined in a purpose as some of the other drafts that we saw. You saw last time the really solid bunch of teamfight ultimates that are going together. Here you've got pieces of it that sort of work together. You've got Huskar and Dazzle, which complement each other. They're going to be able to really go ham there with the Burning Spears and the Berserker's Blood going on. Meanwhile, over on the other side, you've got Tusk and Queen of Pain that can snowball into Walrus Punch, into Sonic Wave. Sand King is kind of left out a little bit, somewhat in the open. He does have a decent amount of wave clear in terms of being able to deal with PL, having the instantaneous stun there. But it's all sort of funky. It doesn't exactly completely and totally meld together as smoothly as the last draft did, but I think it can still work.
And because our Zeke is gone, the roles are going to be slightly shuffled. Lifelong Tragedy and Workin are still on their same roles, support and mid respectively, but with this new teal stand-in, 1101, who was playing the core carry, is now on the Tusk. Afterlife, who was playing offlane, is now on the Sand King, and I mean, yeah, usually Afterlife is going towards the offlane. You could probably expect the Tusk to go in offlane in this situation. It's definitely going to juggle the roles a little bit, so Aspera just knocked out of their comfort zone a little bit, waiting for the Rubik from FDG to come in, but they have a pretty defensive, pretty slow game plan, I think. They're okay with taking this game as it comes. Just let the Phantom Lancer take as long as he wants to farm up. And also the Silencer at the same time is a pretty decent scaling hero into the late game, if you only just get a couple kills.
Yeah. I think one thing that we might see here as well in this early laning stage, I'm curious if we're going to see Aspera go for it. The Dazzle Tusk combo actually works together in lanes sometimes where you end up snowballing into a Shadow Wave for a good amount of physical damage. And if they do run that, I think it might be a bit of a mistake. So I'm wondering if they're going to be tempted into running that combo, because that would leave Huskar and Sand King alone in a lane, which could end up causing a lot of problems for them potentially. So we'll see if that's what they go for. Again, it's a possibility, and something that you see a lot is sort of this combo working together. And if that's what the draft was designed to try and do, I think that might be a bit of a problem, because it would leave Huskar off to not as good of a start. So we'll see if they opt to go for that. Meanwhile, for FDG, I think that there are a bunch of pretty clearly defined roles and where everybody is going to opt to send their heroes to. We'll see what it ends up looking like. Waiting for this last teal player to load on in here.
We're having a lot of discussion in the chat, but of course not any useful discussion, unfortunately for us. Oh, here we go. Rubik's going to come in, and maybe we can actually get this game going. Yeah, we are going to have the go. So we'll see how these lanes are actually going to shape up. Droid's last game, I mean, up against the Luna and Disruptor, wasn't exactly the best lane in the world for Shaker, but ended up getting a fast Blink Dagger regardless. He did very well in that lane. Versus now a Huskar matchup, it's a lot worse. Earthshaker doesn't really have any counterplay to a Huskar, unless Huskar is disconnecting. That's going to win the lane for the Shaker. It's pretty easy to win that lane.
Oh, goodness gracious. Well, I'll do a quick little introduction for these players. They're just going to go. All right, sounds good. A quick little introduction. This player right here on the Huskar is Pudzik Hypnuker, who's going to be playing the Huskar. I did my best with
that,
it.
by the way.
Absolutely. We're going to be calling him Huskar this game. Afterlife is going to be the Sand King smoked on up, heading through the dire jungle with Workin on the Queen of Pain. Lifelong Tragedy is going to be that Dazzle. And last but not least, 1101 on the Tuskar, ready to move on through here and hopefully catch somebody.
Well, they're not going to catch Droid. He is in the bottom lane. It's the Shaker. Rubik is going to be played by Lady Luck. Turson is on the Phantom Lancer again. We got Lodine on the support, Visage, and Zara on the Silencer. Actually, no, it was someone else playing the Phantom Lancer. It was Zaro, and now Zaro is actually going to narrowly dodge the smoke. They see him, but they're just a little bit too far away. They're going to reveal the smoke, and if the Silencer walks south right now, he will just die. Afterlife's going to show himself. Here comes the Snowball. Zara in a lot of trouble right now, though he's next to his tier 2. It's actually only 2 years in the Snowball with the heal bomb regardless. They should get this kill, and they will. Silencer is going to throw out his last word, and it will do a little bit of damage, but you don't expect that dive that deep behind a tier 2 tower. 0 minutes in the game. It's going to be first blood drawn by Aspera.
Does look like the Rubik here is trying to find out Afterlife. They are going to end up seeing him, but I don't think they can get there in time. Huskar DCs again, unfortunately. Queen of Pain picking up the bounty rune up top. And there is not one over in the mid lane. That one actually ended up getting picked up by the PL, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Going kind of an interesting build. The PL has a Wraithband and 2 Tangos. Mid. Is he going mid?
Yeah, it seems like he is. The help that he can get is fine, but no Skywrath Mage. Let's just say Visage and Rubik, they work very well together, but you're not going to run a full tri-lane mid lane up against the Queen of Pain. Though she has gone Blink first, which is not exactly ideal, she's still just fine to deal with that combo. Dual laning Phantom Lancer +1, again, it's okay, but I think that the Silencer in general would be a lot happier going towards the mid lane, and the Phantom Lancer will be a lot happier going towards the top lane. Pretty much no matter what the lanes are actually going to end up as. Like, the Silencer is going to have a great time up there, but I don't know, you're kind of sacrificing your Phantom Lancer to get that done.
Yeah, a little bit strange here, definitely. We'll see how it ends up working out for him. I mean, Queen of Pain against any hero in the mid lane who's melee is just a very tough matchup. One thing that is here, Phantom Lancer ended up going Doppelganger first, so he's going to try and be dodging those Shadow Strikes. Very interesting little dynamic there, and we'll see how it works out.
It's also possible to dodge Scream of Pain. You see the projectile. If you're fast enough, you can make it happen up towards top lane. They got the chill onto the Tusk, taking a lot of damage with the heal bomb to Lowdyne, dropping super low quickly. The Silencer will get intelligence, and it will be a 1-for-1 trade so far. Zara now 2v1. They're going to try to go for Lifelong Tragedy, who has another heal coming up soon. This will do a lot of damage to the Rubik with the Sand King in the area. Silencer will shove the Dazzle out right now. No last word. He's now going to focus onto Afterlife. Seems like the Radiant are losing this fight. Rubik will have another lift up soon. They also have Visage. Grave Chill will just be the end of the Sand King. However, here comes another Snowball, going to drag in Afterlife onto Lowdyne. They see Lifelong Tragedy, heal bomb onto 2, but not going to be focused onto any of them. Nice Burrow Strike from Afterlife, but still the Dazzle's going to fall. Lowdyne, again an even trade, and now the Rubik's on the run. Looks like Lady Luck will slip away, salve up, and Afterlife, he has managed to get down to the low ground, but it's not going to come up in time. It's going to be a double kill for Zara, 6 intelligence stolen from the Radiant heroes, and that should just about be it, but man, this Silencer is getting quite a lot of value up here. Sand King is definitely not a hero that can afford to lose intelligence.
No, absolutely not. Another snowball going on in. They are going to be able to catch at least one. That's going to be a double kill right here. Really nicely done. Tusk getting one of those, Dazzle a second. Now, the thing that also ended up really being a little bit too bad there for Aspera in this lane was that the Tusk used his Mango on Afterlife to try to let him get away from that one. I will also mention here in the mid lane, PL doing a decent job. Currently 5-1 versus the 9-2 of the Queen of Pain. Considering how badly I would have expected this matchup to go, it's actually not terrible. Ooh, and Earthshaker does have a invisibility rune. Getting ready to move on in here. I don't know if he can get a kill on this Huskar, but there is a little bit of it. I don't think he's going to be able to. I would love to be able to see something like that, but with only 1 level and Enchant Totem, he's not going to be able to get enough damage.
Give him an Echo Slam and maybe, but otherwise he's just getting a lot of free experience. He's going to throw a Fissure, but take a couple of Burning Spears to the face for his doubles over towards mid lane. They're going to jump in towards Turds, and Snowball is there. He already used the Doppelganger, and he will fall. Blink Scream will actually miss. The Tusk will clean up the Phantom Lancer before the Queen of Pain can arrive. Aspera off to a 3-kill lead. This Quap up against this Phantom Lancer, who has a lot of base damage, 77 with just a Wraith Band, is forced to go for 3 Null Talismans. The mana pool is certainly very helpful on the Queen of Pain, but it's the Phantom Lancer's base damage just working for him in lane. The Queen of Pain now grabbing a point in Shadow Strike, knew that the Phantom Lancer would just buff it out if it connected or just straight up dodge it. So the mid lane, even with that death, going pretty well for the FDG side, all things considered. The Phantom Lancer's not getting bullied, but now the Queen of Pain has 4 Null Talismans. Okay, that's a little bit excessive, I think.
I've never seen this before. I guess the other thing about this is that she doesn't necessarily need to gank the other lanes. So pretty much here, the main reason that she's going to be doing this, I feel like, is just to have the sustain that she needs. Still hasn't gone for a bottle yet, but oh, actually, yeah, she's bringing out a salve to herself. So she does have a good amount of sustain, and basically if she's able to win this lane against the PL with all of that base damage, they are looking really good. So it's a weird build, but could potentially be worth it.
Afterlife in a little bit of trouble. He was Sandstorm, but there's a Sentry there the entire time. He has a Grave next to him, plus a Burrow Strike out, and a Snowball if needed. It's going to be Rubik take a lot of heat, but it's a Snowball on, or Burrow Strike onto Lowdyne first. Snowball over towards the Rubik. We'll get the kill. Afterlife limping away at 60 HP. Will salve up. Zara still at full HP, however, but here comes Workin. Jump in, Scream. So much damage coming out from the 4 null build, and Zara will also fall. Lowdyne being chased down by the Tusk. Shards available. Don't know why he's not throwing it. There it is. One more smack. It's going to be a 3-kill up towards the top lane for Aspera. They clean house, and even though the first fight was really good for FDG, the explosiveness of Snowball into Burrow Strike into Heal Bomb, now level 2 on the Dazzle, is just way too much damage for soft heroes like Silencer, Rubik, and Visage to really take control of.
Yeah, it's been really impressive so far this trial, and I did not think that it was going to work this well, but it is working. And the other thing here that's pretty key is that, you know, Huskar is still having a great time in lane, doing everything that he wants to do. Level 6 currently versus the jumping on top of the Earthshaker. Might be able to make something happen. Inner Vitality going out, and it looks like Droid is probably going to end up going down here. One more hit, maybe. No, not going to be enough, and that's going to be a kill for that Huskar, working towards that armlet with a quickness. Meanwhile, top lane as well, nothing going on there. Just a little Sentry Sandstorm action.
towards top lane. Rubik in a bad position right now. Here comes the snowball, grabbing Sand King as well. So Burrow Strike plus Heal Bomb. That's a dead Rubik. We have Lodine and Zara. They're going to try to go for Lifelong Tragedy. Silence going to time out. That means the Grave is going to come up. And, well, Zara's now going to take a couple hits out. Dazzle getting a bottle charge. Visage unable to get the kill. Burrow Strike onto Zara now. No Heal Bomb just yet. Zara is going to take the Heal Bomb and will fall. Now they're onto Lodine. This Tusk has another shard. Snowball looks like he ran out of mana. Trying to bottle up for the Snowball mana. They're going to dive this? That's a little bit excessive, but they will eventually back off. 12-3, and this tri-lane up towards top is absolutely crumbling. The Radiant are also getting CS in the side lanes. This is pretty much across the board. One lanes for the Radiant. Working going to jump right into Turson right now. Has a Sonic Wave. Really wants to hold it for the dodge, and it will be dodged. Even though it looked like he reappeared right in front of it. Queen of Pain still not going to get that kill on the Phantom Lancer, but still leading last hits.
Yeah, doing a really great job. Go Gadget, Null Tally. It's making it work. We are seeing up top lane again, Afterlife just trying to hang out, soak up as much EXP as possible. In the tri lane, obviously, the big problem that you have is that you do end up running low on EXP, pretty significantly so. 1101 is going to be in the mid lane as well, just healing back up this Queen of Pain. They're getting ready to dive again if they want to. They're really making the Phantom Lancer pay here in this lane, and while he was having a pretty good time at the beginning, now he's really falling in terms of the amount of CS he's been able to get. Been pretty well denied over the past 30 seconds to a minute.
There's the shards, a little bit off the mark, though I don't really think it would have mattered even if they did connect. The bottom lane is actually just being crushed by this Huskar, not even close. 6 CS for the Shaker. He's getting a good amount of experience, but versus the level 8 Huskar, it's just not comparable, who also has like a 6-minute armlet. That's about when he picked that up. A dive into just right clicks into the Earthshaker, and that's going to be a kill. And the FDG really don't have heroes to spare to actually come down and help this Earthshaker. I don't think they have actually heroes that can help out the Earthshaker, even if like pick 2 or 3, and they just won't have the manpower to do it. So yeah, this Huskar is going to go uncontested. Blink forward. They're looking for this Phantom Lancer. Has a Doppelganger out. Snowball is available. Well, he's going to put up the Sigil instead. Waiting for the Snowball. There it is. Couple more right clicks are all they need. He's going to Doppelgang out. Lance working. Will get the kill, but the Phantom Lancer will also get his dues as Rubik does come in. Tusk should fall here, making it a 2-for-1 overall for the FDG side. But up towards top lane, or bottom lane rather, looks like they did somehow kill off the Huskar. Shaker is going to get a lot of experience from that one.
He ended up going for the 3 and Enchant Totem, so he was dealing a ton of damage there with that one. And I was taking a look at it, and it's surprising how much damage you're able to deal with that. Right now, 675 is the hit once you end up getting an Enchant Totem off. Really, really solid. I think that's what it was. It could have been a little bit less. But mid lane getting taken over. Also, another thing to note about that engagement in the mid lane, one of the PL illusions was actually able to get the final right click off on the Tusk there. So Phantom Lancer got a kill out of that one, despite the fact he was already dead.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice for FDG to be getting these kills, but they need just a little bit more to actually make it truly worth it. Is the Huskar just going to return to the lane, and then you have the same exact scenario. Shaker struggling to get anything done. Echo Slam, though it is up, will not really do enough versus the Huskar, unless he's sitting in like a double wave of creeps, but good luck ever making that connect. Silencer up towards top is been getting an okay amount, but now is actually going to be potentially dived. Here comes the blind Epicenter onto the Visage, actually. Lodine just going to get annihilated by Afterlife. And also Zara taking a couple of pulses of that as well. Lifelong Tragedy going to try to get this kill. Global Silence is there. Afterlife, though, will slip around the trees, and Zara's unable to get that kill. Now they're onto Lifelong Tragedy. Has the heal and the Grave. Another Burrow Strike is actually cooling down. Zara is actually going to get some help from his creeps, which will body block enough. Just needs one last word to get either these kills, or this Phantom Lancer to come in. Whack. There goes the Dazzle, and Afterlife, he is going to just sandstorm out of here. Shards are going to come in. Burrow Strike onto Zara. A couple more right clicks. He will get the kill. Lance will kill him off. Yes, with the illusion, again, getting the last hit. And that should about be that. Turson's going to try to go for the Tusk, but I don't think he has enough sustain to actually get this kill. And he won't. But in the meantime, bottom lane looks like Huskar got his dues, killed off the Shaker, and also killed off a tower.
Yeah, it was crazy, actually. While the whole team fight was going on up in the top, the Tusk was able to rotate, help out with an Ice Shards to trap in the Earthshaker, excuse me, and then Huskar was able to get the kill. Then Tusk TP'd up top and was able to get a kill on the Silencer. So really making the most of his rotations, making sure that he's able to help get those kills that are oh so crucial to them, staying in the lead that they've been able to build all the way up to 18-8 so far. Oh, turn around with the Snowball up in top lane. They're going to end up catching off this PL. He's in a little bit of trouble. Walrus Punch, and can he get away, though? It's actually looking like it's going to be a turnaround here with the Visage in the area as well. There's the Doppelganger to be able to get away. One more more time from the Tusk. It looks like he's actually going to be able to kill. Times out perfectly on that shallow grave, but Dazzle getting the return kill. I'm not sure if that was completely and totally worth it for the PL at that point.
I mean, he knew that he was going to go down. At least he got the kill, right? It would have been otherwise a complete disaster for FDG. But again, in the meantime, it's Huskar to be getting even more. Dove onto the silencer in mid, and there's nothing a silencer can do once the Huskar's in melee range. Up towards top Lodine, trying to hide behind his tier 1 tower, which no longer exists. Blink in, they're going to give the kill to Workin, and Visage is going to fall for the up-team time. The Phantom Lancer is the only one on FDG who's actually getting any sort of decent net worth, mostly because of the kills that he's been getting, but we have a whole bunch of green heroes on the top for the Radiant side. Net worth is being led by Huskar. He has lifesteal, he has his armlet, and he's getting a lot of kills. For FDG, I mean, they really don't have that much to work with right now. Phantom Lancer, as powerful as he is, can't effectively kill off this Huskar. Even with the help of Rubik, even with the help of Shaker, it's going to be tough. As long as Huskar gets a little bit of distance away to armlet toggle, there it is. Lance is going to be thrown. The last word will pop, so he's disarmed now. But still he can toggle. Still he has Dazzle now right behind him. And Scream of Pain coming in for the backside. Queen of Pain will make her presence known. Huskar is still very much so alive. Lifelong Charging, not as much so. We'll throw a weave. We have a Fissure onto the Huskar, but he's going to put Vitality on himself. Shard's going to come in, trap the Phantom Lancer, jump forward from Afterlife. He actually does have his Blink Dagger super early on. Walrus Punch onto the Phantom Lancer. The Queen of Pain also snipes the Rubik, and Sonic Wave is available. Turns going to try to fight to the death with Snowball now onto Droid. They're getting Global Silence and Echo Slam. Not bad, but still they need more. Fissure going to drop the Huskar kind of low, but he still has the armlet. He'll just use that one and get very cleanly away. Onto Lodine as well, getting him a triple kill. They only lose the Dazzle. It's a 5-for-1 exchange. I don't want to press this button, but I will. 10k lead in gold, 7,500 in experience. FDG, what do you do from here?
I have no idea. Honestly, I'm going to draw out the Huskar's route in that fight. He walked back like that, then decided to turn away, run away from the Phantom Lancer, being slowed the whole time, ran in a giant circle, came back around, and then that was the point where he got a triple kill. The entire time, just walking. There was nothing that was stopping him from going where he wanted to go. He's been able to get so much. The Helm of the Dominator up to 13 armor with his armlet as well, and then having Dazzle there as well just to shallow grave him the whole time through. It's such a difficult task to be able to deal with this Huskar when he's been able to get the kind of start that he's had.
This Huskar is just so hard to dislodge right now. If Silencer had levels, then he would be able to do something if he had any sort of decent farm, but for right now, the Silencer just looks like he's a support here. They're also going to catch up to the Phantom Lancer. Has a Doppelgang out, but no, Sonic Wave will again completely whiff. It's nice for the Phantom Lancer and everything, but the Snowball and Burrow Strike are both coming in. This PL is going to die regardless. That was a weird Walrus Punch, the Burrow Strike, but still PL down. And the Aegis on the Huskar. I don't even think that's the right decision. I think you give it to the Queen of Pain, but I mean, you're leading 3-1 kills. You might as well just give it to whoever. Just keep this pain train rolling. FDG, Global Silence, Echo Slam, it's nice, but again, they just needed something else. They need some sort of sustained damage, and it's just not in the cards right now. This is just only level 4.
Well, that was pretty interesting there. The Walrus Punch cancel, always nice to see. And that did actually leave open the possibility for Rubik to go for Snowball. Probably a little bit better than getting Walrus Punch. Walrus Punch can be pretty good, but the damage isn't huge for the Rubik. Only has the 61 to begin with. The stun is actually pretty great from a long distance as well, but a little bit of an interesting little pickup there. Meanwhile, Lodine TPing on back as well, wants to be able to defend against this. I don't think that they stop here. I honestly think that Aspera is just going to go for this. Huskar is about to go super duper ham. Maybe just going to actually opt to hang out by this tower for a second and try and slow siege it down. Probably the smarter decision. He is going to get jumped on again by the PL, trying to keep him alive a little bit longer. There's the Burrow Strike. That's going to end up being a dead PL. The Soul Assumption not really doing enough. Jumping on top of Droid yet again. He's taking a lot of damage. Where's the Grave? Taking him a little bit too far out of range of it, but there's the Grave coming on out, and now we are going to see FDG have to run away. Snowball forward yet again is going to end up connecting, but that's the Aegis popped with the Echo Slam used. Not going to be able to do it. They're diving Fountain right now. What is going on? Able to take down the Rubik inside his own Fountain. Now we're going to see Afterlife trying to get away before he gets sent to it. Is going to run away a little bit further. Doesn't catch on the enchant on him. One more right click. That's going to be enough for that kill. And still, we're sitting here. Going to not take down the tier 3 until just now. What a freaking dive.
It forced out 2 buybacks from the FDG side. They're going to catch this Tusk with the lift up. Snowball is going to give him a little bit of safety, although I don't think it's quite going to be enough. Dazzle in a little bit of trouble, forced to grave himself, so now they can't save the Tusk, but he's just going to walk out of here. Huskar's going to jump right in. Armor toggling really tough right now with this many units attacking him, but he's just swinging for all he's worth, and he's just not dying with upwards of 30 armor. He's taking no damage. Now armor toggle is available. It's a clean sweep. Triple double Sonic Wave for celebration for working. Huskar was woven up almost max, if not max, armor. Like, he just was not going to die there. There wasn't nearly enough physical damage to stop him.
Great game. Absolutely wonderful to see that. Honestly, it's so much fun just to see a Huskar go ham. And that also means that we're going to be going to a game 3 here in just a second.
Yeah, FDG get absolutely smashed. It seems like Aspera just found the sweet spot, got a really effective lane setup, and then just crushed everyone. We're going to be going to a game 3, as Lyrical said. Guys, I'm Mikelorus. I'm joined by Lyrical Gangster, and don't go anywhere. We'll see who's actually able to win this series in just a little bit, guys.